gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions.
Panther fans unite! My name's Tony Dunn. Cody Lashney, how you doing? TK's in the house. How you doing, my friend? The Stat Daddy.
But I think Derek Brown, hey man, he deserves that dab on him pick.
Dab on him, Phil Snow. Dab on him.
All the same, yeah, 100%. We can do.
Mine is gonna go to the fullback. I'm gonna dump on the Richie guy. Dab on him, Shaq.
I'm gonna put the towel on Matt Rule.
Y'all took all the good ones.
Only one postgame roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers postgame show.
What is up, Panther fans? Welcome to the paint drying podcast as we watch the most boring game arguably I've ever seen in my life. It was awful. The Carolina Panthers fall to the Baltimore Ravens. I guess the only good thing is they didn't fall harder. The defense played as well as one could expect them to play, and the offense is back to baking. And we say baking, we are watching yeast rise. Go rise. Nothing's happening on this damn offense. It's the C3 Panthers post game. Cody Lashney. This is a tough one to talk about.
It is, man, because once again we have another performance where our defense held a really good football team to 13 points. But yet again, the Carolina Panthers cannot put together a competent offense to save their lives, man. It's embarrassing. Baker Mayfield. I mean, look, Baker Mayfield, I don't know if he has a future in the NFL. I think it was bad. I'm not putting the whole game on him, but I mean, Baker Mayfield, it doesn't have it, throwing bad interceptions. A lot of people were wanting to see Sam Darnold. And if people are calling for Sam Darnold, that's how you know it's bad, dude. Deontay Foreman was kind of invisible all day today. And our offensive line looked okay early in the ball game, but we just cannot put up points to save our lives. But you know what, man? You know that no matter what, the C3 Panthers podcast is here to be your therapy session. And Tony Dunn, we're joined by the best Panther fans in all of YouTube. My man Adam Roscoe, Drew, Alex, Mex Pro, Cypress, Dakota, James Allen Panther, Jeff R, James Bates, KG73s, Low Key, Michael Davis, Panther Pickle, Ricky 1396, Tyler Run DMC Lovato, and the lovely Miss Sarah Taylor. Tony Dunn. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, boys. Let's roll.
I guess the Ravens run defense is good against CK as they held Deontay Foreman for 11 carries, 24 yards. Basically, we had, it looks like, a whopping 36 yards rushing on the ground. Baker Mayfield completed 21 for 33, 196 with ultimately a pick six is basically at the end. Shi Smith sucks too, CK.
Yeah, Shi Smith is
Mike
not
muted.
My mic is muted?
Uh-oh.
I hear you.
Uh-oh. He's back. Oh, you hear him?
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Is it that stupid thing again?
Try coming in and coming out.
All right,
Maybe
I'll
we'll hear
leave.
him.
I'll leave and come back. You guys
Go ahead,
introduce him.
Yeah, no. So essentially, yeah, I mean, is when you look at what we did, I mean, our defense came to freaking play, bro. We got a interception on by Bravion Roy. We held them to under 150 yards rushing, which is breaking a streak that is incredible. They had 8 games that they had been doing that. We broke that streak today. We held a prolific offense to only 13 points, and that is largely only because of a turnover and giving them a decent field position. This is a very unfortunate series of events, and there was only the thing that's really frustrating about this is if calls had gone our way, if one play goes the other direction, this could be very well a Panthers game, right? If Shi Smith didn't fumble that ball, I feel like this is a much different feeling about how this game went. Do I think we win? I don't know. But I think that was the turning point for things to get out of hand. When you're playing from behind, this offense does not have the ability to play from a 2-score deficit. That turnover causing our defense to come back on the field in a blink of an eye is going to be the turning point in this game. That is the only thing that changed it. I know there's plenty of people in this chat that are going to talk about how that shouldn't have been overturned. I think the interesting thing about that is they overturned it without causing Harbaugh to actually have to throw the flag. Yeah. They ruled him down by contact, went and talked to Harbaugh, and then overturned it, which is absolutely hysterical. But nonetheless, this offense is absolutely abysmal. I don't understand it. The fact that I know that his running game wasn't great, but the fact that Deontay Foreman only got 11 totes is hysterical. The fact that Chuba Hubbard is still out there trying to catch passes is absolutely atrocious. This is by far one of the worst game plans by the offense that I've ever seen by any coordinator. We've been trying to give Ben McAdoo some credit, but here he just was not able to do anything. And it's not like we were going up against a defense that is the greatest in the world, right? That's the thing that's most concerning about this is they came in here and let this team just, stop them in every facet of the game. Baker Mayfield was very sharp early on in the game. He was getting the ball where he needs to. Some receivers were dropping it. DJ Moore had a drop that would have been a big time play in the beginning of the game, but at the end, it all came down crashing, and it started with Shi Smith. So this is unfortunately going to be a big Shi Smith shit on show for me.
Shitty.
And I'm done. Let me jump in here now. Dude, I'm done defending him. Fine. He's trash. He sucks. Every single time Shi Smith fumbles the ball, everybody tags me on Twitter. Oh, Cody, how about your boy? Fuck it. I'm done. I should have known better. He's a South Carolina boy. He's from, he's a Gamecock. I can't stand him anymore. I'm done with it, man. I washed my hands of Shi Smith.
Can we just hear you? Can we hear you concede 1 point?
Oh God! If you mentioned the mirror bird,
can you say it? Can you just say it?
I'm playing, dude. I'm not saying it. No,
just
I'm not saying it.
Demir Bird is better than Shi Smith.
Demir Bird in his 4th year is a little better than Shi Smith.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. All right. The number is 252-228-5098. That's 252-228-5098. I'd like to thank all the people in the chat. You can smash the thumbs up button, subscribe. I'm trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. Also, make sure to be getting ready for a couple of weeks our bye week charity fundraiser where we're going to be raising money for the Bradley and Nikki Bozeman Foundation. You can go ahead to the Bradley and Nikki Bozeman Foundation to their website. They've got a page up where it is uniting Panther fans and supporting the community. So we've got a big goal of $5,000 we're going to try to raise over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully we can reach it. If not, we're going to have a good time doing it. And we want you to call in at 252-228-5098. It's crazy how bad this offense gets with Baker at the helm.
Yes.
And I don't even know what it is like. I mean, he takes shots down the field at times. He doesn't just throw layups entirely. At the end, he was having to push harder, I guess, because we stunk. And that created some opportunities for, some turnovers that probably, he probably wanted some safer throws, but you're just having to do some things at the end. But he's just bad, man. I guess. I don't even know how does the offense look so much more capable with PJ Walker?
It's also like the play calling. As soon as Baker comes in, like the play calling almost changes completely. I don't know if it's just because Ben McAdoo is more of a passing coach than rushing. I mean, CK already alluded to it. The abysmal amount of rushing attempts for Deontay Foreman when he has been our only, meaningful resource of offense these past few weeks. I mean, there is absolutely, there's no reason for that. And then it's like none of the play calling seems to be geared towards getting the Panthers in a rhythm. Like there was a long third down, and we called a screen pass. Like it's so nonsensical. But at the end of the day, the reason why this doesn't freak me out as much as everyone else about Baker is because this is always who I thought Baker Mayfield was. In moments when you have to have a big time play, Baker Mayfield is clutch in throwing interceptions at the wrong time. And it's like, it's not a surprise to me. So it almost doesn't even hurt that much. I don't know, man. I never thought that I would be on here telling you how much I miss PJ Walker. But man, it's like it's a night and day difference in what we're capable of doing.
Yeah, the offense just gets stuck in the mud immediately, CK.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. I mean, the funny thing is I think so many people were calling for Sam Darnold. But what's even funnier, guys, for those who don't know, we do a Madden simulation. Okay.
Yeah.
I want you to understand the hysterical aspect of what we saw today in comparison to what our Madden simulation said we should have seen. So basically, in the Madden simulation last night, they had the Panthers losing, mainly by one touchdown. The only touchdown in the game was picked up by a run by Lamar Jackson, and there were 4 field goals by both teams. The fact that this was so similar to what we saw in that Madden simulation is almost scary at this point in time. Like it really
is pathetic at this point in time. YB Jordan sees it too in the chat. Every single time we do a Madden sim, it gives us a clue on how this game is going to go. And it's without fail every single time. So if you are not watching the Madden sim on this channel the night before, you're passing up a glimpse into the future, y'all. Because it's really like that at this point.
Jeez, imagine having to watch this game twice.
Oh man,
that's what it was
right?
last night. It felt that way. It was.
Imagine how me and CK feel.
The interesting thing is it was the opposite
today.
It was the opposite though. Like we were able to move the ball. It's just every time we got into the red zone, we wouldn't it's just Madden's garbage with regard to how they decide to play calls or call plays.
We're not much better.
Yeah, well, no, at least they were able to get down into the red zone in Madden. Like it was every single drive. The Panthers and the Ravens were in the red zone. It was just they weren't able to push it into the end zone. But the funny thing is the play calling was identical. Run, pass, run, pass, run, pass until they stopped deciding to run it. And then it was just pass, but they never did that in the Madden sim.
Tony, are you aboard this bandwagon now? That's like, save your Sammy Dimes, bring him in. Like, is that where we're at now?
I mean, I feel like sadly, we kind of have been there for like
a while, yeah.
Like,
when PJ
crazy?
had his crappy game against Cincinnati, we were all kind of saying that.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that, we had Joe Person on the show on the Beat Check a couple weeks ago. He said he thinks that, Sam Darnold, finishes out the season. Yeah, and after today, I don't see why he wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
You cannot. I mean, I guess at this point, I'm just like kind of upset that we're going to get better with Sam Darnold, which is crazy. And look, I want to say this is we've given, not on this show, but the Carolina Panthers have given Baker Mayfield every opportunity to save his career.
Oh, yeah. Every
I mean,
opportunity, dude.
What's that?
I said every opportunity, bro.
Yeah. I mean, like the patience, I won't say the patience, but like this was it, guys. You come out, against the Ravens and you stop them. Their defense contained them all game. All you had to do is put together one fucking drive. Before one drive.
Right.
And you could have won this game. We said that the way we looked at a lot of the scores about teams that had beat the Ravens, they held them from getting out to an early lead. They kept it low scoring. I mean, the most is like 24-20, 17-13. These are the types of games that the Ravens have lost this season, except for the one against the Dolphins, which was a shootout. We did exactly what you need to do with an inferior team against the Ravens to actually pull out a win. The problem is that the offense was like, it just was non-existent. It just wasn't even there. It's just like you almost might as well have just let the defense play the entire game. Like, I don't even know.
Might as well.
Well, I mean, they didn't even have like a first down at one point. If you could have missed the whole first half of this game and not missed a single thing.
Right.
Bravion Roy has better hands than half of our receivers, which is fucking embarrassing. We need to line him up at tight end, see if he can catch a few passes. I don't know. It's humiliating.
One drive, Cody. That's all we needed. It's Baker.
I know.
Think about this. Baker comes out and he could win. He could, PJ gets hurt. You had the terrible story, like the kind of the funk under Matt Rule. And like Baker could have made like a last stab at the season and potentially, a fight or argument to have a career next year. And some ways I was like, man, what if we go and run off a few with Baker? Are we going to be here talking about, are we going to re-sign him?
Don't have to worry about that.
No, it looks like these guys had never played football on offense. And strangely, our defense looked way different this week than they have looked over the past few weeks, except for we still can't stop the run ever. We're not ever going to be able to stop the run at this point, I don't think, until we get some linebackers up in the joint.
I mean, not this season. And listen, I want to make it a point to say this, and I believe CK is going to agree with me because we were both mentioning it earlier. Early on in the game, our offensive line was looking incredible, man. They were giving him a pocket to throw from. This offensive line is so much better than it has been in years past, yet it counts for absolutely nothing because even when Baker does throw an accurate pass, it ends up being deflected or intercepted or dropped. And then the rest of the time, Baker is just not reading the field correctly, holding on to the ball too long, navigating himself into pressure somehow. And our offense can't continue to do this, man. And it just sucks because if you're already looking towards the draft, look, if you already have your draft crush, far be it for me to come and run all over it and break it all to hell. But at this point, what are we now going to be depending upon a rookie quarterback to come in next year and be able to step up and save the Carolina Panthers? You
got to not save it. It's going to be an increment. This is not a savior thing, dude. This is going to be a new coach, this is going to be hopefully an incremental getting better. Think about how we were when Matt Rule came in. You know what I'm saying? Is that you didn't go all of a sudden like we're going to try to reel off and win the division. You're just saying this. We want to get competent looking. We want to see the offense get, but that's what we're going to do is we're going to get a rookie, and he's probably going to start right out of the gate.
Well,
you don't think they go after like a Jimmy Garoppolo or a Derek Carr?
Not a shot.
Just do it again.
Rumors
like the same exact thing. We just reboot the Matt Rule era.
But do you think a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo or Derek Carr makes this offense a lot better? Dude, it's hard to be worse than Baker fucking Mayfield.
A lot of people thought we would be better with Sam Darnold after Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, like, there's yes, I mean, there's a history of success there, but Baker Mayfield also proved way more than what he's shown as a Panther so far. I'm so tired of the retreading. Like, I am ready to put ourselves in a position to get a guy who's going to be young, who's going to be a Panther for life, who's going to have his loyalty lie here. And that's my hope. Like, it's not a guarantee, and there's certainly no guarantees in this league. But the benefit that I say, when you think about teams picking in the top 5, right? Right now, if you look at those teams, who do you think is the best option for a quarterback to go to and be successful?
Out of all the teams in the league?
In the top 5 draft picks right now, you have like Detroit, you have Oakland, Las Vegas,
Well,
Detroit.
They won today. They're not even going to be picking top 5 anymore. They've run
Yeah,
off
they're
2.
4
I
and
like
6.
Corral, Daniel. I would like to see. I mean, no, I hear your
We don't want to
point.
hear no. Like where else? All right. So say the teams again. Let's go through them. Jacksonville is up there.
Jacksonville's up there. They're not going to draft a QB. They're going to give Trevor Lawrence all the way until the end of his rookie year rookie contract before they decide to move on from him. But you have Houston. Jacksonville, you have Houston. They're definitely. But do you think that they're a team that is going to offer a tremendous amount of success for a rookie quarterback? Because I feel like
it doesn't matter if you're a quarterback and they draft you, that's where you're going.
No, what I'm saying is right now, one of the things that my point being is when you look at the history of the draft, and me and Cody were talking about it with the case study. When you think about Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, drafted later in the draft behind Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. There's something to be said about going to a better situation as a draft pick. So if you're going in the top 5, those don't tend to work out like as often as people want to believe they do. And so my thought is like, if we are in the top 5, I think we're one of the worst teams in the NFL. We are just maybe a few pieces away from it. And with all the draft capital we have, and if we're drafted in the top 5, I think we have an opportunity to turn this around and have a quarterback come in here to a good team, which is not something that happens to a rookie quarterback drafted in the top 10 very often.
I don't know why we're so bad, to be honest. I agree. Even get it. I just don't even get it. Like the defense held Lamar Jackson. They contained him all day today.
Yeah.
And the offense. I mean, I guess you're at this point. At this point, you are kind of feeling for Matt Rule in a way. And what I mean by that is he just kept saying we're quarterback away. And it feels like, I mean, but there's no Terrace Marshall Jr. is the best receiver on this team all of a sudden. With DJ Moore is non-existent with Baker Mayfield. They have the worst chemistry in the history of worlds. Like PJ Walker, and I don't know, it's just terrible. This offense was so bad, and then the offensive line got worse as the game went on.
Speaking of Matt Rule, did you see his official Twitter account put out #OOU last night? And
what does that even mean? I mean, I know what that means, but like, why was he saying it?
He's taking shots at us, man. He's giving a final fuck you to Panther fans, shooting his middle finger back at us.
But what did we do last night? What brought it on?
I don't even know, man. He went on his Twitter. He put #OOU.
I mean, because he's going to get is he going to take the Nebraska job? Is he going to be Auburn,
I
or
don't
whatever?
even know. Yeah, Terrace Marshall wasn't one of us either, Matt. And look what he's doing now. Stay away from here forever. Don't ever come back here.
I don't know. Is that so? Let's we're gonna go to calls in 1 second. Let's just talk about the defense. Yeah. Even YGM had a good game today. Like, how does he even get a set? Like, it's like this defense said, you know what? We're gonna give you our last effort. We said that, it's like, and I wouldn't be surprised if they walk into this locker room and just quit today. Like, and they say, you know what? We did as much as we can. We were broken. We're beat up. We came out here and we went on the road into a tough place, cold as shit, windy as shit, and we got it done. And then, I mean, what do you even, like, if I was in the locker room, I wouldn't even talk to the offensive people.
I read a stat that says the Panthers are leading the NFL in 3 and outs on defense. So it's like, dude, our defense has never been the problem, except when our offense does show up and then our defense disappears. But I'll say this, especially after today's game, I'm so happy that we didn't trade Brian Burns. I think Brian Burns is hands down. I mean, not even close anymore. I know a lot of people might say Derek Brown, and Derek Brown has definitely taken a step forward this year. But Brian Burns is hands down the best Carolina Panther player that we have. Offense and defense. How about that? Brian Burns is an absolute nightmare, consistently getting pressures. He has 8 sacks already. He's probably on
Did
pace.
you say a sack?
He's
He was
probably on pace
untouched.
for like 11 and 12. It doesn't matter. He's on pace for like 11 or 12 sacks this year. If you have that kind of defensive end, then those are hard to come by. And he's still getting pressure most of the time. So, yeah, I'm happy that we didn't get rid of Brian Burns. We just need to put some players around him. I'm
Agreed.
to the point now where I want to go defense with our first pick in the draft, and then maybe trade back up for Anthony Richardson, the high ceiling quarterback out of Florida, and let him and Matt Corral battle it out in training camp for the top spot. I mean, I would like to do that, but then again, as you talk about, Tony, this malpractice, if you're the Carolina Panthers, how do you go into next year saying we're going to either bank on a rookie quarterback or
Right.
a second-year quarterback that didn't get to play his rookie year because he had his Frank injury? Like, what is the option for the Panthers? Like, I really don't even know what it is.
What it is we have entered the land of suck for a while now. Like, and to be honest, you might
Oh,
go
we live
get
here,
your
yeah.
you might get your rookie quarterback next year and still be top drafting in the top 5
Yeah.
again the following year.
I would buy and the quarterbacks next year. Like, I know you hear this all the time, but from my eye, they are considerably higher ceiling prospects
The
than any of the
Carolina
guys.
kid, everybody loves
The
him.
Carolina kid, so the USC kid, Caleb Williams, who, dude, that guy is incredible. Quinn Ewers, out of Texas. Like, there are better prospects to be had in next year's draft, whereas this year, each one of those quarterback prospects, while they're very good, they have a discernible flaw that you can pinpoint in just about all of their games. Oh, and you know what? Before I forget, because I missed it earlier, man, James Island Panther with the $5 says, "Hey Cody, hey Pickle, how about them Gamecocks? They looked good last night, man, but my Tigers are still going to beat them, so you already know what it is."
All
But
right,
yeah,
let's
I
go
don't know.
get-
I'm dejected about this season, Tony.
I'm really worried that it's just we're gonna get into a cycle of like the Jets or the Lions at this point where we're not gonna just pick top 5 next year, but we're gonna pick top 5 2 years in a row as you get a new, and that might just be what you do with the new coach. You just come in and you say, it's kind of like what happened with Cincinnati, with Burrow. Is just you get Burrow. You go out there and play a little bit, and you're still back in there again in the top picks again one time, and then all of a sudden you're there the next year, maybe. I don't know, but it is going to be tough for this. I would say it's going to be tough for this head coach, but maybe it's going to be easy. Like, how hard is it going to be to get this team playing better than they were today? Yeah, I mean, like, if you just put together an offense that can move the ball like 1 first down, all of a sudden we're sitting here going, man, we can win the division. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to the Super Bowl. I mean, shit.
Well, look, Tony, before we go forward, there was not a lot of pleasure to be had for Panther fans today during this football game because we looked absolutely terrible. So I think it's incumbent upon us to give them the pleasure that they know that they actually can depend on every single postgame show. Big Papa, it's time that you shame these bunch of weirdos.
Well, hello. I'd like to walk you with my hand, holding your hand, into therapy. You've come here to talk about the Carolina Panthers absolutely putting up a big old fat 0 when it comes to touchdowns, a big old fat 0 when it comes to being any type of offensively explosive plays whatsoever. And you've come here to talk about it. You've come here to watch C3 debate on who's to blame, where the fault lies, whether Ben McAdoo's the one that's going to be the guy calling plays next year, or whether Steve Wilkes even deserves the head coaching position. But you haven't hit that thumbs up button yet. I have one thing to say to all you absolute freaks. Subscriber shame.
192 people, 57 thumbs up. Listen, the Carolina Panthers offense couldn't get it done, but you can get it done right now, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell for every single time the C3 Panthers podcast goes live. This is the podcast for the fans, by the fans. Help us beat up on that YouTube algorithm to get us in front of as many eyes as possible. But this is also, like I said, the show for the fans, by the fans. And it's time to take some cat calls at 252-228-5098. Let's do it.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose? Who's that kid that can use one?
Well, guys, another horrible game. This one isn't even over, but it was over at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Defense did the best they could today, but they've got to get rid of C.J. Henderson. He's such a liability. I don't think he stopped one single pass coming his way today. Absolutely atrocious. And then their defensive line and linebackers just teeing off on the offensive linemen because they know there's no threat of passing the ball. Baker Mayfield's trash. Shi Smith's trash. Demir Bird was way better. Cody, suck on those nuts. This shit's
Damn it
horrible.
to hell.
I'm so ready for the season to be over with and look forward to the draft. The dang Panthers freaking tearing at my heart every week. We can't beat nobody. And then the referees just doing us dirty.
Yeah, man.
How do you even call half the stuff that you call?
It's so
Absolutely
egregious.
ridiculous. Man, y'all keep paying. Like, subscribe. I'm out. I think I'm done with the Panthers this season. Goodbye.
Peace
It's
and love.
tough. Today was a boring ass game, dude. Like a straight boring game for everybody. In fact, you remember when you remember, like it was so long ago, when we won that game on Thursday night against the Falcons, and then I tuned into national radio all week, and they talked about how it was the shittiest game and how Amazon should want their money back. This is like, I was like, man, I thought that game was entertaining because
Yeah, I did too.
like we were like, because it's like the best game we had played in some ways in a while. It was a win for us. Like I'm looking at all these, it was rain, it was like, oh, they're like, this was so hard to watch. Well, you want to see something hard to watch? National media, national market. This game right here could pass everybody by. In fact, CK, you were saying it is like the whole league was stinking. And this isn't just this week, too. This has kind of been a poor I think it was Aaron Rodgers said this, which is ironic since he's playing like shit too. But he said that he looks around the league and sees maybe it was Tom Brady. It was Tom Brady who said that it's just a bunch of crappy football being played this year. They were asking, this was a few weeks ago, and he was like, they're asking where the offense was. But like the Jets lost. All my picks were bad. The Jets lose. They didn't score a touchdown. The Eagles put up 17 points. Like the most impressive game was probably Buffalo Cleveland. I mean, look at these scores. New Orleans beats the Rams. Like today was just shitty football.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not fun. It was.
Even if you watch the Bills game, if you look at Bass's numbers, you're going to realize why they won. It wasn't because they were just blowing the doors off of the Cleveland Browns. They were able to get down into the red zone, but they had a horrendous red zone offense today. So it wasn't it wasn't a week to remember. I'll say that much.
All right. Panthers Pickle has a 6-second call. Let's see what it says.
Also, want to say real quick, Panther Pickle, Tennessee sucks.
Oh.
Go Cox.
That's the Gamecock that it was. I saw it in transfer. All right.
Dude, Gamecocks fans are hilarious. They get a big win, and then all of a sudden they're the loudest people in the world.
And they've been trying to put it together for, after a bad start, right? Getting better as the season goes on.
Yeah, we
Yes.
play. They play
Who'd they
Clemson
beat
next.
yesterday?
Tennessee.
Oh,
Oh, how
okay.
about this?
They didn't just beat them.
Yeah, they beat him like bad. They put up like 50-something points by the end of the game. And Hendon Hooker, the quarterback for Tennessee that everyone's been talking about, tore his ACL.
See ya. Oh, there you go. So now you can get them in the second round. Next call.
Podcast brothers, how y'all doing? I am so fucking pissed at this damn game. Those first 3 quarters, we were playing pretty fucking good. That fourth quarter, we just fucking crumbled, man. What the fuck, man? Take Baker Mayfield out of Carolina. Like, for real, man. Put Sam Darnold in that motherfucker, man, which sounds crazy, but Baker is fucking done. If we doing this shit because of the deal that he signed for a 3rd round or a 4th round, I don't give a fuck any damn more. This shit is fucking ridiculous, man. We had these motherfuckers, man. Everybody know we had these motherfuckers, man. This dude throws an interception, 2 interceptions. And Shy Smith, get him the fuck off the team, too. I was really rooting for this damn dude, but Shy Smith fucking sucks, man. He fucking sucks. I mean, he's fucking horrible.
It's terrible, man.
The other wide receiver from LSU, forgot his name, on the tip of my tongue. He played an outstanding fucking game. He did. And where the fuck was DJ Moore at, man? We should have used him more, man. But, oh well, no playoffs for us, man. We got Denver next week. Hopefully we can beat them. But we crumbled in the 4th, y'all. Keep pounding.
We can't beat bad teams.
That's
We're a
the thing.
bad team.
We also can't beat teams outside of our own division. Oh, and that's another thing. The Saints and the Falcons picked up a W today.
Hey.
So now we're even further behind.
That's all right. Listen, at the end of the day, this only helps our case for a better draft pick. And here's the thing. I'm not rooting for just the better draft pick for the purpose of getting a quarterback in the top 10. I want our 2nd round pick to be a value as well, to be an early draft pick in the 2nd round too. So I think you've got to keep in mind, a lot of people are looking at just that top 10 pick. It's super valuable, but our draft capital from the rest of the time as we go on is super important as we move forward too. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm not upset. I'm not, honestly, the reality of the game here is if any of us thought we came into this game and we were only going to allow them to put up 13 points, we would have been, thank God that it's not a blowout, right? And this wasn't, by far, this was not a blowout. I know people are going to look at 10-13 and say, well, it was a 2-possession game. That didn't happen until the 4th quarter. We held the Baltimore Ravens in check. We made them look mediocre for the entirety of this game as a defense. Our offense was also held an equal amount of check. This should have been a better. If I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan, I'm afraid of what I saw today. I am absolutely afraid of what I just saw today. Number one, you potentially lost 2 of your biggest stars in Stanley and Hamilton going down, potentially with some serious injuries, right? They didn't come back into the game. If I'm a Ravens fan, I'm looking at this and I'm looking a little concerned about how this defense held this offense in check like this. Now, I'm not looking at this defense and saying I need to be concerned about the Panthers offense. They did their job today and they did it well against what we expected from an offense. But I'm awfully concerned at moving forward as the Ravens based on how this Panthers team was able to hold them in check for the majority of this game.
Was it Shy Smith? There was one play because I was like barely watching. It was so hard for me to watch this game. That somebody got just destroyed and demolished. He got blown up. He was kind of trying to cut back and he just got rocked. Does anybody remember that play? Was it Shy Smith that just got destroyed? Somebody got crushed. And I was just thinking this is JPP had a big day today. Calais Campbell had a big day. These old guys were out there just destroying mugs.
I wouldn't say they had a big day. They had a decent day. They got Calais Campbell had 1 sack.
Right.
JPP got that interception that was a batted ball. But I mean, he was getting some stuff done. But I wouldn't say these guys had a day. I think as a whole, their defense played very well. I don't think one player was more incredible than any others. Patrick Queen is probably the only one that I saw consistently making plays on that defense.
So what we're trying to, so then if this is the case, if they didn't play well on defense, really,
well, Well, no, I'm not
just-
saying they didn't play well. I'm just saying there wasn't a star today. It was they
Okay.
all played well.
Just
They all played
like,
well. It wasn't.
why were we so bad then? It's
Hey,
almost
how
like
about
it
this?
didn't even matter what the
Yeah,
defense
I think it's
did. Like
game plan.
they could have not even. They could
Our
have just
game
said,
plan was
"Hey, try to
garbage.
throw it, dude." They could have not even, and like we couldn't complete passes.
Our
Yeah,
game
but
plan
look,
was garbage.
Throwing the ball entirely too much. And by the way, look, if I'm willing to admit that I was wrong on Shi Smith, then can y'all admit that I was right on Baker? Before this even started, I was saying that if we're going to be passing the ball with Baker Mayfield and depending on Baker Mayfield, then we are up shit's creek without a paddle. And I also remember people on Twitter, and even here telling me, "Oh, Cody, Baker is a much better player than Sam Darnold. At least he's better than Sam. We upgraded." No, man. Shout out to me and my man YB Jordan in the chat. We told everybody Baker sucks. And
Hey, hold
he
on.
does
Hold
suck.
on.
Hold on. It's okay. Even if he wasn't the sole reason that we lost today, every time Baker Mayfield is under center, the Panthers offense is at its absolute worst. You cannot tell me that those two things are not correlated, because they
Hold on.
are.
Let me stop you. You were wrong on Baker. You said that he was Sam Darnold, and it's clear he's worse than Sam Darnold. So you are wrong on that. You said he was better than he is.
I know he's worse than you even thought.
Dude.
He's so bad. He's so bad. It's like even
if this
the
was
worst.
Price is
it's
right,
the
you
worst.
lost anyway.
I know we
Dude,
were
I
trying to
thought we
be
were gonna
optimistic.
run
You were
the football.
pessimistic, and you weren't even pessimistic enough at this point.
Dude, it's embarrassing. But I've always known that he's not a good football player. I've always seen that he was an undersized guy, didn't have a big arm, not very mobile, doesn't read the field well, and the batted passes are ridiculous. PJ Walker is supposedly shorter than Baker Mayfield, and he doesn't deal with batted passes even a little bit like Baker does. Dude, it's embarrassing. I don't know what it is, but like I'm not gonna be one of these people that's like, "Oh, hey, let's get to Sam." Dude, if you're depending on Sam Darnold, who has not played a snap of NFL football since last year, to come in here and all of a sudden be better in this offense, I want whatever crack you're
No.
smoking on. 'Cause
Yeah,
that shit
they're
is
not
not
on
gonna
crack. It
happen.
can't be. It can't be worse. That's the thing. It's
I
just
think you're
simply
right on
can't
that.
be worse. It's
I
like
think he is the
PJ. We have a
worst.
more effective offense with an undrafted free agent quarterback in PJ Walker. And the irony about this is that PJ's actually been okay at times, and we didn't trust him to throw the ball. Baker comes in and they're like, "Hey, go let Bake cook." And they're like,
Yeah, it's so dumb, man. It really is dumb. And it's
The
on
interesting thing, the thing that's so crazy about this is that Baker nobody thought he was this bad. Not even the people that hated Baker the most thought he was this bad. Right. But again, and I appreciate the fact that you're saying this, right? I think anybody who looks at this in the first half and up to the first 3 quarters, the game plan was clearly to try to get the run game and going. It wasn't working, number one. Okay. Baker was pretty sharp when you look at the passes he had in the first half. Like he was pretty on point for a lot of those throws. He had a really good completion percentage coming out of the half. It was only when the tide started to turn and the pressure was on when he started to panic and he started to make those bad decisions. And there was really only one bad decision. The batted ball. There was one batted ball in this game, guys. One batted ball. Right. Most quarterbacks in the NFL have at least one batted ball a game. The problem was it batted it right into the arms of JPP. That's not a Baker fault, right? That's not on Baker, in my opinion. That's bad luck. The other part is that interception that he threw wasn't a great throw, but it wasn't like an egregious interception either. Like that was a fantastic play by that defensive player.
What the defensive? I meant the corner.
It was he. He just jumped right in front of Shi Smith.
That's the Sam Darnold. That's the Baker Mayfield special, bro.
Right,
and that is like, oh my gosh,
when you look at that though,
you're down 2 scores. There's 6 minutes to go. You got timeouts. And then you throw an interception that basically is a pick six.
The other part to this, though, is I'm looking at is when you look at that interception, I'm looking at Shi Smith. That was a pass to Shi Smith. Shi Smith just stood there. Like he didn't even try to come back. Like, and then what happened is it made that so easy. And by the way, I want to ask a question. That interception, the dude comes up and basically tackles Shi Smith before the ball gets there to intercept that ball. Is that a legal move?
Yeah, you got
It
the
is?
right to go after the football.
Well, I know, but do you have the right to stop him from catching the ball, like basically by tackling him?
I think you're not really tackling him. You're just driving through him to get the ball. Like,
Fair enough.
he's got to be stronger, and he's got, you know what I mean? Like, you have a right to go after the football. Like, so as long as you're not going after him.
If you notice, all of Baltimore's big time players are the ones that broke the game for them.
Right.
Their corner, Marcus Peters, was the one that took the ball from Shi Smith. Lamar Jackson gets the touchdown. Jason Pierre-Paul. And by the way, here's another thing that we need to mention. Taylor Moton is not the right tackle that we thought he was.
No.
He simply is not.
Slowing
And
down.
in a year when of the best offensive line that the Panthers have had in a very long time, I put on Twitter, this might be the best offensive line that in a decade. And yet, even still, it's clear that Taylor Moton is the weak link on our offensive line, man. I don't see anyone get blown up on the line as much as I do Taylor Moton. And it's noticeable at this
That whole
point in
right
time.
side struggled today. I would even say Austin Corbett struggled a lot today.
Well, they were
Taylor-
overloading
Maybe not
that
a lot,
side.
maybe, but I saw him just run. They run past these dudes a couple of times.
Well,
towards
they
the end. Maybe-
overloaded that side. They knew that
Yeah.
that was the weak side of ours, and they overloaded it. Chuba got blown up on one of their blitzes that came into that sack. And then you had that one where Taylor Moton was so focused on the defensive end, the blitzing, I believe it was a blitzing safety, maybe. I can't remember who it was, came in just straight to Baker.
Maybe
with
that's the one I'm thinking.
You know,
of.
and that's still like, I think that's got to be awareness, right? And correct me if I'm wrong on this, Cody. In that position, your goal is to always prevent the guy from being able to blitz from the outside. So you pass off the guy you're blocking to the guy on the interior and stop that guy from being a free rusher on your quarterback. Especially if you don't have a running back there to pick up a blitzer. So that still falls on Moton, but they definitely knew that the weak side of our line is our right side with Taylor Moton, and they attacked it, and it worked well towards the end of the half. They weren't getting home a lot as far as the sacks were early in the game. It was only when they knew it was a passing down, they were able to just send everybody and knew that Baker was either going to make a bad decision or he was going to get sacked because he's going to hold onto the ball too long because he isn't quick to make those decisions.
252-228-5098. Let's go to the next call.
What's going on, C3 family? D, Sanford, North Carolina.
What up, D?
I was proud for 3 quarters. Made me happy for 3 quarters. Fourth quarter just didn't have enough. I don't know if it was just difference in talent, so forth offensively. But I think Baker's proven to us that he's not it. We really didn't take any shots down the field, which I think that was part of the game plan. But defensively, I was proud throughout the whole game. Hey, keep pounding. We'll come back after the bye. We'll do our thing. Keep pounding, fam.
Some optimism. We got a little bit of optimism. And you know what's embarrassing about this? Like, we're still not out of it.
It
like,
is weird.
okay,
I
know.
We've been
But I'm
out of
saying
it since
mathematically,
we lost to the
we
Falcons
are
the
not
first time.
out of it. And again, we had 8 losses in that 2014 season, and we didn't start our push until late in the season. But we can't.
We might not win another game, dude.
We don't. No, I think we'll win some NFC South games. But that's it. The only games that we can beat
There's only 2 more to go.
are the NFC South games.
I don't think we win any games. The Saints go beat the Rams today. We don't run nothing, man. We're the worst team. We're the worst Panthers team. I don't know, man. This is like, hey, is poor Steve Wilkes. All those people that are talking shit about the Jeff Saturday stuff is that, like the worst thing you can do is put a guy in there and like could be a competent head coach. He's just like in such a shit place. Like Steve Wilkes isn't going to get a job. PJ ain't getting a job. Everybody, man, Baker might not ever play football again. You're ruining it. Like, we can, if you have a career in question, come to Carolina. We'll fucking end it for you. Put the nail in the coffin for you. Let's go to the next call.
What's up, C3? Anthony from Charlotte. Just got done watching the game. And, I called in last Tuesday and said, I'm less confident with Baker. It showed today. He didn't have a good game. But I do want to say this. PJ Walker wouldn't have looked any different. And I'll tell you why. Because the games PJ Walker has played in, he has been playing middling to terrible defenses. The Ravens shut everything down today, okay? You can't win a game when you have 40 rushing yards. It's not possible. So I get everyone hates Baker. That's fine. But I told y'all, this is who this team is. We can't beat real defenses. We play Denver's defense next week. Guess what? Their offense may be terrible and whatnot, but it'll be the same story as this past week because teams that can stop the run on us, we are screwed, and our defense can only hold off for so long. But the defense played phenomenal, holding Lamar Jackson to one rushing touchdown total. He threw for barely above 200 yards. I mean, the Ravens did all their work in the fourth quarter. And I will say that the offensive line probably had one of its worst it had one of their not so good games of the season. I'll put it that way. They weren't great, but they weren't awful, but they missed they didn't pick up a couple stunts that the Ravens brought some blitzes on. Icky had a false start penalty, which wasn't the biggest thing. We gave up 2 sacks, but I'm liking what I'm seeing with the young players. Terrence Marshall, awesome game. This dude, I don't think we need to draft a receiver. As I said, Dante Foreman, when you can't get the run game going, it's really hard to win, man. It really is. I think Jeremy Chin had a good game coming back from injury. Brian Burns had a good game, but it wasn't enough. So, that's just my take on it, man. I really don't see us winning games where we don't play unless we play a bad defense. I'm telling you, man, this league is competitive, and I know we're a competitive team, but the wins we've gotten this season have been very, very underwhelming. So, besides for the Tom Brady game, that's just how I feel about it, man. I mean, if the Raiders win today, we got the number 2 pick. I know no one cares about that still. I'll be the only one to say I do because I know we need a quarterback. But, yeah, Anthony from Charlotte, just wanted to give my thoughts on the game. And, yeah, C3, you're the best. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding, Anthony. You're the man. I mean, look, I understand you're not going to be able to do well if you're not being able to run the football effectively, but I don't know. I just don't think there's any excuses for Baker anymore. He does look bad every time we see him in this offense. But before we go any further, White Chalk Show is trying to pay for his dad's affection to see if that will work. He says if we can't run, we can win. Average.
No, I think he meant we can't win.
Yeah, that's what I think too. And then with the $4.99, he says, I keep saying this, trade Moten in the offseason, move Brady Christensen to right tackle. You could get a first or a second for him. I'm not mad at it, man. If there's a market for Taylor Moten, I'm all about getting younger and getting cheaper where it's possible. I don't know how many dead dollars that would be on the Carolina Panthers, but any creative way that we can move some of the dead weight off this team, get younger but get more talented, I'm down for it, man. I don't even know what to say about this team anymore, Tony. I agree with you. There is no reason for our offense to look as bad as it does, as routinely it does.
And,
How hysterical!
It's only with Baker there. It's I feel like you can put anybody. Look, we even look more competent with the dude that nobody knows his name, Sam
Eason.
Yeah,
Jacob
Eason. Yeah, we still can't. We look better with a quarterback that doesn't even have a name. Than
How
Baker
funny!
Mayfield.
How funny would it be if we found out? Now I'm going to go back to Moten. How funny would it be if we found out? It'd be hysterical. But how funny would it be if we found out that that Taylor Moton, if he went down, that Cam Irving was a just incredible backup, incredible right tackle.
Oh, well,
that
that's
would be
not
so
true.
embarrassing.
It's just not true, though.
Yeah,
Like,
true
he's
that.
terrible, too. I
True
wonder
that.
if Moton is going to be a guard. I don't know. It's, you know, we
Well, I mean-
maybe has this really been in front of our eyes for the last 2 seasons, and we just have written it off maybe as like him being surrounded by poor talent? You know, we kept going. He's the only guy that we got. Whenever he got beat or was playing poorly, we just talked about how, you know, oh, the offensive line is a unit. It's hard to look at you know, is like
Certainly
it's hard
this
for.
year.
But
I don't know
last
about
we were
last.
saying these things for the last years where we would say we would give him passes all the time because we thought that the people around him were bringing him down, and it like he's really just gotten slower. I think that's what I think is like he's never been the most nimble dude in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, he's kind of like a larger dude. I feel like a little. I mean, he's a typical old school right tackle in my opinion.
Yeah, he doesn't have the best feet. I mean, he's not the most athletic tackle on our team, but I don't know, man. And yeah, maybe it's been in front of our noses for a while, but this season it's more noticeable because, I mean, and tell me if you guys disagree here. I feel like our offensive line is looking better than it ever has.
I've been saying that. I've been
yeah.
saying that for like since week 1.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so infuriating, is that it's the quarterback position and a lot of bad play calls that continue to keep this same thing just looking embarrassing.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
All
I
right,
don't
next
know.
goal.
Nothing to say today besides the fact that Baker Mayfield's career is officially over. He fucking sucks. The team tries to play for him, but I feel like the offensive line gives up by the third or fourth quarter. Then he gets sacked. He throws fumbles, picks. Dude, oh, man.
Who do you think this caller
Baker
is?
sucks. That's why we lost.
That sounds like Alex.
I was wondering if it was the guy that quit the Houston club, the Rowan Wright, because
he comes on hot and heavy, dude.
Yeah, you're right. It is Alex. You were right. It's Alex. All right, next
that was
goal.
Alex.
What's up, guys? This is Chase. I just now starting the game. Well, still in the first quarter of the game. After this Panthers' first kick, how was that not roughing the kicker? I mean, you had 2 dudes hitting him with both legs, if that's the rule, which leg they hit. And one of the officials goes talk to the Ravens coach first, like asking them which call they want him to make. And I hate this uniform combo. It just screams kick my ass.
I'm seeing Cody is like, at what point could we start to have a conversation just so we're not like just entirely in the draft a quarterback conversation? Is there any possible world where we just like go and draft like an offensive lineman, a defensive lineman, and then like just go pay a free agent?
I mean, that's the conversation.
Like
that
maybe
we've
even
been
a big
having.
name. Like maybe
Well, I mean,
get
but
a trade for somebody like a.
What big names though?
Man, I don't want to say it. I don't want this one. Aaron Rodgers, maybe. Or like, I mean, thinking about like what some other teams have tried to do that has not worked out this season. And that is like the Russell Wilson type move. They traded for those dudes. I guess you're not going to be able to go and get anybody in free agency.
Well, the names that I've been saying the most, and this is just likelihood. I'm not even saying I want either of them. So don't match me to this, people. What I'm saying is Derek Carr.
That's who I think is going to be. I have a feeling.
And there's that they want to move on from Derek Carr after this year, and technically there's language in the contract that would allow the Raiders to do that. I think Derek Carr would be at home here in Carolina. I don't necessarily know that I trust him to be better. I mean, I do think that he's better than Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold.
Right.
That's for damn sure.
He would fit right in. We're always
Yeah.
crying after the game right now.
And then
Right.
the other name is Jimmy Garoppolo. And I've been very averse to Jimmy Garoppolo. I have not wanted him on the team. But it's like, if we're talking, remember when we hired Ben McAdoo when Matt Rule was still the coach? And none of us loved Ben McAdoo, but we all kind of agreed that's probably the best that we were going to do. That's like the top of what was possible for the Carolina Panthers. Names like Derek Carr and Jimmy Garoppolo are the names that are top of the list for a number of different reasons. They've been to the playoffs. They've put up numbers. Jimmy G more than one. And neither of them. I mean, Derek Carr would be more expensive, but Jimmy Garoppolo would be relatively cheap on that end. And I'll tell y'all what come around to. Look, y'all already know that I like Matt Corral, but like I said earlier, I really like Anthony Richardson. I agree that he's raw. He needs a lot of work in some areas. But as far as physical upside and talent, I would love to have Anthony Richardson on this team. Maybe draft him sometime in the second round and let him and Matt Corral battle it out for the number 2 spot. If we did get a free agent, I wouldn't mind that at all, man.
The only scenario that exists where we're getting Derek Carr or Jimmy Garoppolo is if we draft a QB. Like those, like that's the only scenario.
Probably could do both. Yeah, we could do both. We should have done that in the past, man. In a way,
because the only reason I say that is because whoever we put in that position is going to be playing for let's be honest, they're going to probably get the Justin Fields treatment. Whoever we sign, if it's Derek Carr or even Jimmy Garoppolo, they're going to get the Andy Dalton treatment, where Andy Dalton was promised a starting gig in Chicago. Didn't really pan out for him. It was just he was holding the fort down until the other guy was ready, or even a Tyrod Taylor type with regard to Justin Herbert. All right, that's my belief. If we put any of them on the team, it is meant to be just to give the other guys time to develop and not look horrendous.
James Island Panther said, "Do you trust this staff to develop AR?" Cody, no, because they won't be here.
Yeah.
This staff will not be here. You know, like you don't even have to. There won't be a single person on this coaching staff that will be here next year.
And even if there were, it shouldn't deter
Maybe
you.
Tabor. I would keep.
I mean,
Tabor.
yeah, but even if they were here, it shouldn't deter you if you think you're going to have a chance to draft a guy that has all the requisite traits that you want in a franchise quarterback. So. I mean, I don't know that they can develop anyone. Like I'm hopeful for Matt Corral, and everybody continues to give me shit for even having hope for him, because that's all I have at this point. Like I'm also a realist, and Matt Corral might never see the field for the Carolina Panthers. But you have to have coaches that are teachers first and foremost, and that know how to develop these players. That's why a lot of these quarterbacks bust coming out of college. So. This next coaching hire is going to be interesting. And if it's not Steve Wilks, I told CK last night during the Madden sim, a lot of rumors were going around that people inside the building were really wanting to re-sign Steve Wilks. Now, they might still do that and give him the benefit of the doubt that we don't have the quarterback. But if they get pissed, but I'm telling you, the name Bill O'Brien is going to come up. And it's going to come up if the Panthers draft Bryce Young.
Let's do it. I don't even care.
It's going to come up, and people are going to get mad at me for saying this, but you could do a lot worse than Bill O'Brien. I'm just being real.
Yeah, we're here. What was it? Oh, I was going to say this about the Jimmy G crap. Talk about being wrong. I was wrong on this. I thought that Baker was better than Jimmy G. And that's just not the case. Like Baker sucks so bad.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I thought I was like, oh, if I had my choice, I'd pick Baker over the two. Like people, it was like, oh, Jimmy G just benefited. Like he's just so safe. Dude, Baker
He's
isn't
better
even
than
bad.
Baker.
Like, I mean, like he's not even turning
He's
the ball over
terrible.
like crazy. It's just like they
Yeah.
go up there and poop their pants, man.
He looks like he was signed off of the street. Like he's just an average, everyday Joe Blow that
The people
trained in
that
the.
didn't like him in Cleveland, I don't care what they say, he won't this bad there.
That's what I'm saying. Like nobody, even his worst critics, didn't even sell us this bad of a good a sale.
Right.
You know
they're
what I mean?
they're feeling bad at this point for us.
Yeah.
Next goal.
What's up, guys? This is Alex calling from Tucson, Arizona again. Yeah,
Alex?
man. Baker Mayfield's career is officially fucking done. He's an embarrassment, dude. I want to see PJ Walker finish off the year, not Sam. But I'd rather have Sam than Baker. Our defense did great. Our offensive line actually played great, but I think they just got tired of Baker's shit by the end of the fourth quarter and was just like, fuck this. He's not producing nothing, man.
Just let him die.
Baker's just feel like we were being coached by Matt Rule, just seeing Baker on the field today. That's how bad it was. All right, guys.
I don't get how he's this bad. I just don't even understand. Like, he's not hurt. He's not, or it doesn't appear like it. I mean, he actually threw us some zingers out there. He still has some arm strength. It's like
just bad decisions.
Yeah, just nothing goes right. All right, next goal. It's sad. We got a lot more post games to do. I kind of feel like this. I'm trying to feel like after each loss, I kind of go through like a different stage of grief in a way,
every single Sunday.
Yeah, it's a different type of misery. We've had some of the anger moments in the early part of the season, bitterness against Matt Rule, despair was maybe when we lost to the Rams and it's like, oh God, we not going to throw the ball. The Bengals, that loss was just like a kick in the nuts, but I wasn't even upset. This loss to me is daunting because I'm like, I didn't want to get up here and do the post game today. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't want to do it.
You know what should make you feel better?
What?
We have 201 people watching our misery, man. No matter what happens, when the Panthers disappoint, dude, the C3 Panthers podcast comes through not only for these fans, but for us. The fans come through for us. They make it all worth it. Dude, like I said, I look forward to doing this post-game show way more than I do watching the Panthers, especially around this time of year for the past 4 years that I've been doing it. So,
yeah,
this is going to be a crawl to this is a crawl to the finish line though for us.
Oh yeah,
this season. Like, I mean,
at least
we're gonna
we're
have to come out. We're gonna have to generate something, some excitement. Maybe we should just watch some other games and just tune in to the highlights or something, or the low lights. I mean, you don't have to imagine tuning into the highlights of this game.
Maybe I'll get naked on stream.
Yeah, Friday free throw. There you go. Leave it for that.
Fine. All right.
Yo. Oh my God, it's JJ. Can we just talk about how Cody doesn't know how to evaluate talent?
This dude.
He
Who
thinks
is
he's
this
like
guy?
some amazing scout analyst because two huge, athletic, 6'5" rocket arm quarterbacks in the past decade came out of the draft, and he was correct that they were good and ended up being franchise quarterbacks. Oh my fucking God!
This revisionist history.
Probably the most
Everybody
obvious
was
pick
down
for the
on
past
him.
decade of franchise quarterbacks and Josh Allen and Justin Herbert coming out. But like he's terribly wrong about the J.C. Horn pick. He keeps trying to defend it, even though it's
JC
obvious
played
we missed
good
on
today.
Justin Fields. Michael Parsons, arguably the best defensive player in the NFL, and the best cornerback in the NFL, Patrick Surtain. But like, how he used to argue and say Shi Smith was good. What? Like, I've never in my entire life, seen a wide receiver when they get the ball in their hands
You
move
deserve every
so
bit of it.
much and go absolutely nowhere. Literally move so much in place. It blows my mind every time he has the ball in his hands. And then I was gonna call about Shi Smith beforehand, and then he fumbled. So I was like, okay, I have to make this call. Yeah. No, I'm not gonna trust Cody's opinion on Matt Corral being a potential franchise guy because there's only like 8 of those in the entire NFL, and I doubt the guy who was traded up for by Matt Rule. Yeah, him, the guy who knows so much about good
Ben
quarterback talent when
McAdoo.
he sees it. That guy who traded up for Matt Corral. I'm gonna trust his judgment and Cody's judgment on Matt Corral being a franchise quarterback. No, thank you. Claver, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I suck, Cody. Oh, also, you made a slight diss saying, telling me you've never watched film without telling me you've never watched film. I'm just going to ignore that because I've actually watched hella Ole Miss games. His run read pass option offense that they ran
this
was
guy.
a lot of yards after catch, and that's why they were designed runs for his rushing statistics. Statistics are probably the last thing you want to look at in terms of analyzing a quarterback, because when it comes to a quarterback and the throws they can make, that shit is all eye test, and a lot of times on scheme and how much of the plays were designed.
Thank God that shit cut him off. Let me guess. He has another call that's like 2.5 minutes long.
It's 1 minute and 21 seconds, but let's go. We can skip. We'll go to another call.
Well, no,
you deserve the Shi Smith stuff so bad.
Fine, dude. I'll take
don't
the
even
Shi
feel
Smith
bad about
stuff.
it.
But dude, the Josh Allen, Justin Herbert thing, like, it's such revisionist history. It's such bullshit, man. If you looked at Josh Allen at Wyoming, everyone said, "Oh, terrible competition, terrible completion percentage in the Mountain West, and terrible mechanics, all this other shit." Everybody had Christian Hackenberg written all over Josh Allen. It was the same thing with Justin Herbert, and yet I did the eye test, JJ. I trusted the talent that I saw on the field from the quarterback in person, and they were able to do incredible things. Likewise, Matt Corral has all the requisite traits to be a quarterback. He just has to prove that he can stay healthy. And I don't know if he can or not. I truly don't. I hope that he can. I don't know if he can. But, I mean, at the end of the day, he might be just as in play as any other quarterback in this year's draft. And that's just the simple fact of the matter. And, dude, I'm done defending Shi Smith. Fine, if you want to shit on me for Shi Smith,
we will forever. Anytime,
please. I'm
anytime
open
he
for
does anything, everybody has to mention Cody all the time. It'd be
Sign
like,
up,
Cat.
Bobby.
Every time, you know what? The next time he makes a catch, we gotta hit @Cody and put Canton. #Canton. Man's going to the Hall of Fame.
Cody said he was shit. Cody said he was a shit player.
You guys are fucking deplorable.
You're right though. People first there were so many questions around Josh Allen at the time. I do think Carson Wentz helped him be real.
Yeah.
Is that because the same happened with Carson Wentz? Honestly, is like, who the fuck is this dude, and what is this North Dakota State? Weren't they from the same school, maybe, or somewhere, or maybe they were in the same division?
Yeah. North Dakota State is like, I believe it's the Mountain West. I don't know. They don't play normal competition. It's like AAA football or some shit.
Yeah. But so the Herbert thing, he kind of came under that like over analysts. Like that's what I would say is sometimes people we just get
thought
sucked
about
into
it too much.
Over, yeah. And they've tried to find it's where you talk about the draft so much, you gotta just try to be smart. And you got to be
Yeah.
like, oh, well, like we don't see him under center ever or something like this. And like, I don't know. We screwed up on that. And I kind of think, I wanted us to, I don't go crazy about it. I don't know how Justin Fields did today. They lost again. How
I heard he
about
got carted off the field?
He did?
That's what somebody said in the man cave.
Oh God.
I haven't looked and researched it to be able to confirm it, but
I don't look at that. All right, let's go to the next goal.
Man, what it do, boys?
Supreme
It's your boy,
Leader.
Mike.
Later.
I Supreme Leader. How you guys doing?
Tough.
Yeah.
Sucking.
Yeah, it's another Sunday fun day out here in these streets. At this point it is what it is, Man, that game though, it was like watching that offense, it was like it was like watching a little kid trying to dig a hole in concrete with a paper straw. Like
incredible analogy.
Like you just want to be like,
his
just
knuckles
stop,
are all bleeding.
Stop it, get some help. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, whew. Man, so much for Baker, huh? That is, I kind of compare it to so the name of my fantasy football team is Bacon Bad, right? And
That's
it's
a great one.
based off of one of the greatest shows ever, Breaking Bad, and
Yes, sir.
Baker is baking bad, or Baker is breaking bad. Whatever he is, he's bad. And
so bad.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's keep pounding to the end of the season, boys.
We would be better off with Taylor Heineke.
I agree with that. I think Taylor Heineke is better than any of the quarterbacks on our squad, and that's not giving Corral any consideration in that decision, because I think
we don't
it's
know
just
enough,
it's impossible to judge him based on what we've seen so far.
Agree.
But as far as everybody else, yeah, Taylor Heineke is clearly a better quarterback. He's been given less, and he has been able to come out with a lot more than what we've gotten so far.
All right, next call.
Hey, this is Panther Pickle. Listen, I wasn't going to call, but McAdoo sucks worse than Baker Mayfield. Fact is, we could have a pop-off to figure out who sucks the worst. Baker Mayfield, Matt Rule, or Ben McAdoo. Now, for all them wannabe Gamecocks that think they're so damn good because they won one game, the Tennessee Volunteers beat Florida. We beat LSU. They beat Alabama. They beat UT Martin. They beat Kentucky. Okay? So let's understand. Yeah, you won a fucking game. Put a feather in your cap and call you macaroni. The Gamecocks, you still suck. You suck in the morning, you suck in the evening, and you even suck at night. Have a good day, Gamecock fans, and enjoy your cock all you want.
Yeah.
I love it when Pickle is angry. It makes me laugh to no end.
Speaking of,
he was
how
right,
about
though.
this? There are 4 roosters sitting on a post. All right, like on a fence, like on top of a fence, and there's a white cat underneath them. How many? There's 4 roosters. How many wings are there on that fence post? How many wings?
What, you said there's 4 on the fence? So
Yeah.
8?
Okay. How many beaks are there?
4?
Yeah. No, it's not that hard. How many rooster feet are there?
8.
All right. How many teeth does that cat have?
None. I don't know.
Well, you know a ton about black cock, but you don't know anything about pussy.
Shut up, dude. Man, that
All
was
right, dad joke. Dad joke. All right. So I told this. I heard this. And I told this joke, and I totally screwed it up. I said there's 4 black crows up there, and then I got to the end. I was like, so you know a lot about crows.
That was pretty good. I'll give you that. I'm gonna have to repurpose that. I'm gonna have to repurpose that.
Next call. Oh, this
Also, Panthers should draft quarterback first round, wide receiver second round, and running back in the third round. It's crazy that for 3 years, Cody said we shouldn't pay a running back.
Oh, is this the same dude?
Deontay Foreman has like 3 good games, and he's like, yeah, we should pay him.
He didn't say that.
And then when y'all were saying Christian McCaffrey wasn't as good of a rusher as Deontay Foreman, okay, that was buffoonery beyond me.
I agree with that.
Deontay Foreman is an average thumper who runs up the middle, and that's like about it. Why would we pay him when we could get a way better running back for cheaper in the draft? This offense needs new life. Terrence Marshall Jr. is ranked top 20 in terms of beating man coverage. DJ Moore is a god. We all know that. And yeah, we need to,
true.
we do makeover on the offense.
I'm done. I don't even want to hear like what's even good about DJ Moore at this point.
And I also never said pay him top running back money in the NFL like we've been doing for the past. Yeah, like re-signing a player doesn't mean that you're breaking the bank for him. I mean, like again, that's my number one fan, by the way. JJ, that's my number one fan. All he does is call in and talk about me. DT with the $5 says Baker is done. PJ win this 100%.
Oh, the people like the joke. I got there's these 2 guys on TikTok, and they're like, they just do these dad jokes, and they sit outside and they drink coffee and like say these jokes with a complete straight face, and I
love it.
They're so, this guy, this is one of my favorite ones. He said, my wife, she said this. She said, "Man, I look fat. Oh, I need a compliment." He said, "You got perfect eyesight, baby." I like that one. And then there's another one, something like, "I lost my family to gambling." He said, "I won the lottery and moved." And left them. All right. Here we go. These are all the
we
calls.
just need a joke segment. That's Pickle playing Rocket Top.
Oh, is that what they play at the?
That's 100%. That's what that is.
Okay, so look, it's what really interesting to me is that the defense has bounced back in this game. We have people in here saying we exposed Lamar Jackson. I don't believe that, really. I just think no one had a good day.
Lamar was not great today either.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't great, but I mean, I'm not ready to say, but like, it's crazy to me that this defense got amped got themselves up for another game finally, after kind of looking like they were running out of steam. They played pretty tough in the beginning of the season. They kept us in games. They scored we started getting some turnovers at one point. The defense was scoring. And then when Rule was fired, you started to see them just kind of, it seemed like run out of gas. You had the Bengals game, the Falcons game, the first Falcons game. They put up something like 79 points. We allowed a bunch of points. We were starting to allow teams to score on us just when we were starting to score. And I felt like the defense got amped for this. It said, let's go on the road. Let's fight. This is the type of game we can just punch. This is kind of a Ron Rivera punch you in the mouth game. hopefully. And this is how you win these types of games. I told you guys, if you're going to win this game, you just got to keep it close and have a chance at the end. And we kind of did that, except for our offense just was so bad. I'm telling you that I don't even know if the Baltimore's Ravens defense was that good today, or if we just were like pathetic. And I guess, well, we went. I've said some stupid shit on this podcast before, but one of the dumbest things that I said on this podcast about 6 months ago is that we had a strong receiving core, like one of the better ones in the league with DJ and Robbie.
We don't.
Like,
We
we
need
got rid of
another two
Robbie, and
receivers.
we don't have anybody. Like, we had Terrace Marshall Jr., who is like this shitty
Playing
shy.
fine.
Yeah, he is. But like, we just suck, dude. That was the dumbest thing I've ever said in my life. I don't even think DJ's that great.
I mean, dude, DJ.
I feel bad.
He
I'm in a
has
bad
no
place. I'm
rhythm.
taking
He has
taking shots at my
no.
man right here.
He has no.
Straight.
He has no ability to get on the same page as Baker Mayfield and vice versa. Like, there's a reason why those first few games of the year, DJ was invisible, not having any production in our offense. Then PJ comes in, and then all of a sudden, there he is making plays. Back to Baker, and then now it's back to DJ just dropping off of a cliff. I don't know. We definitely need some help a little bit of everywhere, man. We need another receiver. We need another defensive lineman. I think we could use another defensive tackle. I think we definitely need another linebacker. I mean, the Panthers have needs right
We're
now.
not good. And maybe we fooled ourselves completely thinking there was talent on this team. I don't know. I don't know what to think of this team. It's so schizophrenic.
Yeah, we're bipolar, man. We're a bipolar football team.
Okay, so just a quick look around the league. My
No more
picks
calls?
this. That's it. We're done.
All right, cool.
We're done. I don't think
So
there's
go ahead.
any.
No, you're good.
There's an 11-second call. I don't know if there's anything. Oh yeah, let's see.
Guys, was Baker Mayfield the first round draft pick?
He was the number one
Because
overall.
if he was, how did that even happen? God damn it.
Yeah, that was I didn't. Oh wait, hold on. Have we heard this? Maybe I skipped this one. Let's see this one more.
Just watching the game, fourth quarter, like 3 minutes left. Baker just threw an interception. Man, I am so fucking tired of watching him play. Can we just put Sam Darnold in there? Put Santa Claus in there. Every time I watch this guy play, I just know it ain't going to be about nothing. It's going to be about empty calories. Sit his ass down. God damn it, put somebody else in there to at least give us some hope. At least with PJ, there was some hope. We didn't know what he was, but we've already seen what Baker is. This is the most uninspiring play I've seen. So I'm just tired of watching him. Please, Sam, if you're there, put his ass in. Just put his fucking ass in, and let's see what happens. At this rate, we will be drafting number 1. Go Panthers.
Go Panthers. Appreciate the call. CK, would you do me a favor? We got a $1.99 love bomb from White Chocolate. Could you read that for me?
Spencer Rattler, QB1. I want Cody to read it.
There you go. Your wish is
You
my
did
command.
officially get Cody to read it.
And you know what? I always do what I'm asked to do.
You are Cody. That's right.
Yeah,
Well
for
done.
sure. I always do what people ask me to do. I'm a good guy. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Man, that's all I got really. I mean, I guess we could go droning on about something. We got Tuesday night show coming up. We'll have hopefully we can get a little energy back into the podcast to talk about this game. I don't know how. I mean, we still got to do our dab on them and our ice up pit. our dab on them and tell a shame. Then, you can call in on Tuesday nights. We're here every Tuesday night live, 9 p.m., 252-228-5098. Smash the thumbs up button. Remember, you can join. You see these people with these cool tags right here, like the green loyalty tags and the special emojis. You can support the show by becoming a C3 super fan. Don't forget to go ahead to the Nikki and Bradley and Nikki Bozeman Foundation and go to our page.
Yeah.
You can get the information. I'll make sure it's in the show notes after the show.
Yeah.
Go ahead and start donating. We're gonna have to. It would be cool to get a head start on this and give back. C3 Panthers Podcast is gonna make a good donation to this cause. And I guess we're gonna again. I've always said this is lock arms, folks. This is times we're gonna have to lock arms and we're gonna have to sit with this. This is I might say this is the most apathetic I've ever felt doing this.
We say this
today.
every year.
I know, but
year
today, like I'm like,
who cares?
I don't even know what to care about. That's what I need to know. I need to know what to care about before I latched on to, well, we can fire Matt Rule. Maybe it's maybe we just need to be on the Sammy Dimes train. That's what I'm going to invest my care to.
Sure.
I'm going to invest my care. I want to see what Sam Darnold's got. I want to see him behind a halfway competent offensive line. I want to see him with Ben McAdoo. I want to see him. And maybe, why else? Why not?
I mean, if that's the only thing that you have to look forward to, dude, far be it from me to take it away from you. Go Sammy Dimes. I'm just not excited about this season going forward. I mean, even if,
right?
I mean, I don't even know when PJ Walker is set to return, but I mean, if it's a high
we got
ankle,
Sammy D, baby. We got Sammy D. Put this guy in there.
How about this?
24-year-old diamond in the rough, ready to be polished up by Ben McAdoo.
If it was PJ Walker and Sam Darnold, are you still wanting to see Sam over?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, I don't even really care about any of them. Like, I have no affection for, at this right now, it's just Sammy D gives me something more of an unknown at this point. It's like, hey, it's kind of like, I really thought I'm sick of giving credit to, or wanting, maybe I'm just like, what is it where you like, or trying to like wish something into existence? I thought, man, this is Baker's shot here to come back and kind of, the pressure is off. He's playing with some house money now because like he's gotten benched. He put a shot. He did the better, whatever teammate thing. And now like it came back, the circle has come back. And like, so he gets back kind of in there and could win, you win this game on the road. Even if it's ugly today, you're starting to go, oh, Baker's he's going to get the hang of it and this and that. Like I kept thinking at some point, Baker's can't be this bad. I said this either earlier in the season where it was just like each week it was just a law of averages at some point. I was like, how can he not throw over 170 yards? He's got to do better than a 50% completion rate. And then he would be like, come out there and be like, oh, you think that's bad? Look at this. Today, he just stunk.
Yeah.
Uninspired.
Yeah. CK, one more. Could you read that out for me?
I sure can. Rattler 6 TDs. Short for touchdowns for those who are not familiar with football. 438 yards. 81% completion percentage.
Is that one game?
Yeah, that was Spencer Rattler against Tennessee.
Yeah, dude, he had a freaking day, bro.
What a day. All right, let's do you pick it. Tell Shane, dab on them. You can pick it. I don't care.
Let's just go ahead and let's start positive and end negative because
I just like doing it, man. Dab on them folks. Dab on them folks. And that dab on them folks. They like seeing it. Tell me what to do. Dab on them folks.
My dab on them goes to Frankie Luvu. Frankie Luvu is the only good thing that came out of Matt Rule. That's it. I continue to think Frankie Luvu makes plays every week, and that's it. That's all I gotta say. Dab on him.
So 2 things off grid. Definitely the draft prospects. I am starting to look at them. We will definitely be comparing notes. And then look, you already know this guy. You already love this guy. But he loves us, and he wants to make sure that we know. This is Michael Davis with the $35 love bomb. He says, Tony, don't be apathetic. Winston Churchill once said, success is not final, failure is not fatal. We keep pounding. Also, for charity stream, I'll match $1 for $1 up to $250 if C3 family shows up. Michael Davis.
Dang, dude. Showing
the
up.
Man, dude.
Man, we're gonna
Michael
get
Davis
up
is the man.
Well, you're kind of already, you are going to be already matching it because the majority of this money is coming from you. So we're going to be dominating.
Matching his own match. He's matching his own match. No, you know what? I'm latching on. So I need something. Thank you. Thank you, Michael. I needed that. Is what I am latching on to is now I'm on the Sammy Dimes train. Bring in Sammy D. Right? And I need to just say this is we got great friends on this podcast and in the chat room that we can look. That's what I'm latching on to our community. It can't get any worse with Sammy Darnold, man. I mean, like, you know what? As we come in, Sammy D gonna help us win this division, though, Cody. Dab on him, Frankie Luvu. Who else you guys got?
CK, who you dabbing on?
Listen, I'm I don't know, dude. I don't even know who to tell you to dab on. I'm going to tell Lamar Jackson with the sole touchdown today. I'm going to tell him to dab on him, folks. Actually, you know what? Bravion Roy getting that interception. Dab on him.
Hey, there we go. I like that. I'm going to make mine short and sweet. My dab on him is JC Horn. I know he had that one at the end of the game that was bad, but for the most part, JC Horn was flying around the football field, making tackles for losses, wrapping up when he tackles. That's another thing. Like, as a corner, he is a surefire tackler most of the time, and I feel like he doesn't get enough credit for that. Yeah, I was going to say Brian Burns, but I think JC Horn, especially with the injuries and people doubting, oh, we did Justin Fields or Patrick Surtain or whatever, man. I'm rocking with JC Horn. I think JC deserves that dab on him pick this week. So you know what that means. We've already dabbed on them. Now it's time to go to the laundry bin for them towels of shame. All right. Towel of shame.
See you guys next week. That was it. We just gave the towel of shame to every person on the team.
You can't. You can't. This defense did so good in this game.
The entire offense.
There you go.
You guys go ahead. You do the towel first. I got one.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go first. We'll go in reverse order. My towel of shame is Taylor Moton. I feel like now there have been a bunch of moments where Taylor Moton, he needed to be able to protect on some important 3rd and 4th downs, and then he just gets destroyed. And I feel like when our offensive line is the best that it's been in maybe a decade, Taylor Moton is the weak link on this offensive line. So Taylor Moton, towel of shame.
CK, it's on you.
Yeah, so my towel of shame is listen, I hate going for the easy towels here, but you know what? I'm not gonna go for the easy one. I'm going to go towel of shame to Ben McAdoo for calling one of the most vanilla offenses I've ever seen in my entire life as a Panthers fan. Like, we've been giving him credit, but up to this point, even when we've been competitive, like, oh man, that's an incredible play call. Like, this became so easy to predict. Like, You got to give him a towel of shame.
I want to give a shout out to Stephanie Sorrell, who became a patron with the $1 support on Patreon. You can support the show by using the C3 Superfan option of the $1.99 a month. We've got Patreon just where you can contribute in a safe way, where you can be like our patron saint over there, Michael Davis, and hit some super chats and some different things like that. My towel of shame is going to go on Shitty Shy. Shitty Shy Smith. I don't want to see this guy on the team anymore. I don't ever want to see him again. Why is Chenault not being our number 3 receiver at this point?
Or Higgins, for that matter.
Yeah, exactly. Why? Higgins might actually be hurt, but still, just stinks. And towel of shame goes to the stupid ass Zach Wilson, Jets. Ruined all my picks. I thought they were going to be I was finally going to give the Jets some respect. They didn't deserve it. But Shitty Shy Smith, dude. Fighting hard. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of sucks. He just got the ball stripped. But, sometimes, I don't know. He's too small to be fighting like that. I don't care. But, gosh, he stinks. I don't ever want to see him again, Cody.
I'm done defending him.
Better. Chirp, chirp, chirp.
Dude, but
all right.
I ain't saying shit about Demir.
That's it. That's the C3 Panthers post game. We caught all the calls. We had a lot of viewers. Kind of a tough one for Tony on this one. Is that really? It's like this. It might as well have been like this. And was this worse than the Bengals game? And I must say no, because our defense was actually okay. We're good.
Yeah, I think this was by far the way better than the Bengals outing. Like, the defense didn't show up in that outing. The offense also didn't show up, but in this one, the offense still didn't show up, but that defense did an incredible amount of work on that Baltimore Ravens offense. And it wasn't until it just got to a point where they were given too many opportunities that it changed.
There wasn't a single touchdown scored by an offense in the Jets game.
There's not a say that again?
The only touchdown came on a kick return, I think, in the whole game.
Wow.
That game was like everybody was competing for like who could have the worst game today. Like, to watch, like the least. You know what is, again, the national media, all these people are going to go back and they're going to say, I wish we had that Thursday night football game with the Panthers Falcons. That shit was entertaining as fuck compared to half of these games this week.
You're not lying, dude.
All right, that's the C3 Panthers post game. My name's Tony Dunn. You can follow me at @cat_chronicles on Twitter. Taylor Heineke and the Washington Commanders making a typical Ron Rivera run. November. He's he's a November, December MVP. They've won 5 out of 6, dude.
Dude, they are somehow looking like a squad with Heineke at the helm, dude.
I mean, and he didn't even score a touchdown today. He didn't even throw one, but they got a pick 6. I mean, I know it's Houston, but if you look at the Commanders' schedule, dude, they have nobodies. They're going to be – Ron Rivera could have led this team right here to the Super Bowl. Imagine how good the Carolina Panthers would have been this year with Taylor Heineke and Ron Rivera as their coach.
Dude,
we win the division easy, hands down.
It's insane to think about.
Maybe. Who knows? Who actually knows, man? I think the only thing these past few seasons of Panther football have shown us is that right when we think we know something, dude, we don't know shit. We don't know shit. We think that we have an idea. Ultimately, we just don't know.
All right, give yourself your own exit.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Cody Lack, CODYLAC. Find all my written work at drafttech.com. And every single Friday at 7 p.m., you can join the show and be a part of the Friday free-for-all for the fans by the fans. Okay?
Yeah, you find me.
Bisbee said Ron would have been starting Cam Irvin over each.
You're not wrong. You were well. I mean, Rule kind of had the same mentality, and he had Icky in there. So I think we could probably give Ron the benefit of the doubt on that one, to be honest. But you can find me over on any social media, mainly Twitter. You can find me at CodizzleAllen. And obviously we're gonna have the Madden simulation every week before the game. And it is eerie how accurate it predicted the blowout from the Bengals. It predicted this low-scoring affair where it was only one actual touchdown scored, guys. And it predicted that it was a Lamar Jackson rush for a touchdown. That was the only touchdown scored in the Madden simulation. The only thing it didn't get right is how many field goals were going to be kicked. We had kicked 4 field goals to their 4 field goals, so it was like 12 points just off of field goals on each team. So yeah, go check out the Madden simulation that we just had. See the eerie similarities. And same thing for the upcoming games that we have. And what do we have next on the docket? Broncos, yeah, who are keeping it competitive with Oakland right now, or Las Vegas.
They're so bad.
They're not great,
This is like we're gonna be playing in the Who Can Be Worse Bowl next week. You know, it's like
well, we always win those.
Right. We're a winner in that game. Hey, we're undefeated in that game.
We're always winners when we have to compete for.
Somehow the Texans are at the top. The Raiders are at the top this year. They're worse than we are. Anyway. All right. That's it. Cody, let's get out of here.
All right. Until next time, C3 Panther Nation. You already know what we do, baby. We keep pounding.
Keep pounding.